Guten Tag, Scott.
Good morning.
We're back on the battlefield, playing,
Yeah.
or another playtest of the best defense from advancing fire.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the best defense. I think it did okay.
It worked out for you, so hey, the best defense is one that works, right?
Yeah.
We're spoiling it. We're spoiling it. So this is a scenario from Advancing Fire. I'm gonna blur out some of the stuff because they haven't released this. It's changed. This is a old version of the scenario, and they've actually changed it since we play tested this, and we play tested this last month, I think.
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, this is a scenario pack. I think it's a tournament scenario pack. I'm not sure what it's called, but this is ECZ 16, the best defense, Americans versus Germans. And it's kind of interesting because it's kind of late war. It's October 44, but the Americans are on the defense here, and the Germans are attacking in Aachen, Germany.
Yeah, about 2 months before the bulge.
Yeah. 6-turn scenario, but there's quite a bit going on. We've got lots of support weapons, mortars, bazookas, some tanks,
Fortifications.
fortifications. Yeah, it's fairly small. They call it a tournament scenario. It felt, I mean, we play relatively slow, I think. It felt a little long, at least for us, for a tournament scenario. A little long and big for a tournament scenario because we play pretty slow. It might be fine for other people. I don't know.
I'd say it's like medium sized.
Yeah.
You look at the number of units.
Yeah. And whenever you have, you're throwing vehicles with infantry, it tends to slow things down, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at anything else we want to say about the scenario. You took the Americans, or no? Do you want to talk about that now? The bidding system, or do you want to do it when you do your setup right at the beginning of the setup?
Oh no, let's talk about it now.
Okay. So the way the scenario works is, I think all of the scenarios, because they sent me 2 scenarios to test, and we only got to 1, but it looks like all the scenarios may work this way. There's a bidding system based on usually victory points. So both players bid the German victory points that they want to commit to, I guess you'd say. I think
what the Germans need to get.
Yeah, what the Germans need to get to win, essentially. And I think it was between 2 and 7 or 3 and 7 for this scenario. So we both secretly bid, and then whoever has the higher takes the Germans, and whoever the other side takes the Americans. So we bid secretly, and I bid a 5. What did you bid?
5.
Yeah, we tied. So in that case, we just do a roll off, and I ended up getting the Germans needing 5 victory points, and you had to defend. And victory points were amassed by having either squads and or basically functioning mobile armor within certain victory zones, and we'll show that here in a minute.
Yeah, I mean as far as scenarios go, the whole process seemed a little convoluted, but it was interesting. It was something different. It was actually kind of fun.
So. Yeah, I think because these are all called tournament scenarios, just some kind of tournament pack. I think that's why they all have a bidding system. So players can sit down and right there and go, okay, I bid 4, or secretly, I bid 4, you bid 5, or whatever, and one side gets the other without any hemming and hawing. It's just you get what you get after looking at the card.
Yeah, and I don't. I wanted to play the Americans. I like playing the Americans.
Yeah, I figured.
And I don't. I played them in strays, but it seemed like it'd been a while since I played the Americans. So, I kind of wanted to bid low.
Right. So that's what I thought you would
do. Yeah. But then I was afraid, well, I can't, I'm thinking I can't bid too low because it'd make it easier. I would get the Americans, but then it would also make it easier for you to win.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a conundrum.
I thought, oh, maybe he'll bid 2 or 3, whatever the lowest was, just to have the Americans. Maybe I should bid like 4, thinking you were going to bid a 2 or 3, and then I would only need 4. And I thought,
Yeah,
well, maybe he's going to like reverse psych me out and not do that. So okay, I'll go 5. And you happen to bid 5 as well.
yeah. I ended up just. I know. I thought I just better play it safe.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, is that it for the scenario? So yeah,
Yeah.
you're the Americans defending, I'm the Germans attacking. Let's jump into the merits of the scenario, and you go first. You set up first, so you can go first.
Yeah. Advantages for the Americans. Fortifications. You get 2 trenches and a pillbox. 9-2 leader. A fair amount of concealment and nasty. I mean
Nasty.
nasty. 50 cal
Yeah.
machine gun.
Firepower
Just
8.
disadvantages, of course, you get the devil squads,
Yeah.
666s, and like just ELR 3. It's so it's never good
Hmm.
necessarily. So overall morale, yeah, uh, zero zero wins,
Yeah.
zero war balance.
None that we're aware of, anyway. German advantages. Have better armor. We have about the same amount of armor, but the Germans have superior armor, including a Panther, which is intimidating on the ASL battlefield, obviously. And I have more units, better base morale, unbroken side morale. I have a morale of 8, and slightly better ELR. Disadvantages: capturing the victory conditions or victory condition zones, and we'll show that here in a minute. The way the scenario is set up now, this version of it, maybe it's been changed since then. I know they've removed the pillbox. That's one thing they've done, but we've talked about this at length. The way you could set up the scenario. Why don't we just jump to it? Let's just jump to the map
Hmm.
and show it. So the way it works is there's these 2 victory condition zones, one on the left here, one on the right, and I have to get, as the Germans, I have to get 5 victory points in one, either or both of the zones. It doesn't matter. I have to get 5 victory points
Yeah,
within those zones, and ensure there are no American good order units in any of the trenches or the pillbox, which is that's
yes,
the hard part because
right,
I don't necessarily know where they are, and you could set them up. You could kind of cheese the victory conditions. We talked about that, right?
yeah,
You could set up a trench over here, you know, a trench or pillbox hidden over here, and something behind in the woods here. And I wouldn't see them until I got really close, and they'd be so spread out.
hmm,
My forces would be just running everywhere trying to find them and secure them. My units would be spread out everywhere. It turns out you didn't do that, but that could easily be done, and I don't know how the Germans would win if that was done.
yeah. Well, I had to change my setup. I don't know 3 times because I kept rereading the scenario card. Because at first I was just going to set the trenches and pillboxes all together somewhere, the little, you know, stronghold. But then the
Hmm.
more I read it, I'm like, well, wait a minute, because I figured there's no way I can keep you from getting the 5 victory. There's
No,
just it'd be too tough.
that's hard to do. Hard to stop. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it kind of dawned on me as I kept reading the scenario card. It's like, well, wait a minute. What if I really need to spread these out to make it harder for you to eliminate, the American units in them.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I ended up with the pillbox on the left, kind of back as far south as I could put it, and then the 2 trenches in the middle. But yeah, we talked about. I probably it would have been better, cheesier to take one of the pillboxes and move it, or not the pillbox, one of the trenches over to the like you just
Yeah,
said
way
on the
over here on the
right.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, the worst thing you could probably do as Americans is put your fortifications inside a zone because that's where I'm going to be
Right.
going. If you spread everything out, yeah, I think it's hard for the Germans to cover. You kind of spread it out, but you could have taken advantage of it even more probably.
Yeah.
Um, do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about recon before you do your
Yeah.
setup? Okay. So the other mechanic in this game is the Germans have the option to do a recon, and they could commit like what was it? A squad, the half track. There's a table that showed how many hexes you could basically search based on a die roll, depending on how many units you committed. You could commit up to, like one half squad, all the way, and then all the way up to like a half track, a squad, and a half squad or something like that.
Yeah. I think it was like 3 half squads,
Yeah, right.
something like
So,
that. And
and then you
leader half
could,
track.
yeah, then you could add a 7.0 leader on top of it as well
Yeah.
to get an extra uh, -1 to the die roll modifier, I think. So depending on how much you committed, you had a better minus die roll modifier to the die roll. So I committed everything but the 7.0 leader. Now the drawback is if you roll poorly, those units become like the half track becomes a burning rack, right? Or the
Hmm.
squad becomes, was it broken or casualty reduced? Basically, all the units that, if you roll bad enough, all the units involved in the recon could become,
Eliminated, I think.
yeah, either casualty reduced or eliminated. One of the two, I can't remember. But I committed everything but the 7.0 leader, and I happened to roll snake eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't even need the modifier.
Uh,
So I ended up
Unbelievable.
getting 3 hexes to recon, which is the most you could get. I rolled really well. Um, and I recon. I was curious. It's revealed here. I kind of suspected this was under concealment, but I wanted to know for sure if this was a bazooka here, whether I could bring my tanks around. So I reconned here first, confirmed what I suspected for a bazooka. Then I had 2 more, and I was trying to find your. This is probably where I screwed up. I was trying to find your pillbox or trenches. And I really didn't need to do that because as soon as they come into my line of sight, I see them anyway, right?
Yeah.
I should have been revealing like this pile here just to strip concealment from it and actually be able to shoot at it better. But I didn't.
Well,
I searched for
you
your stupid pillbox and trench and I didn't find anything.
well, the thing is you rolled good enough to where the anti-tank
Oh,
gun
right.
was automatically revealed
Yep.
too.
Automatically based on, yep, over here,
Yeah, because
which
that
helped.
was hidden. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so based on this bazooka being here and the anti-tank gun being here, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna come down the right side. I'm gonna come down through the left center, kinda.
Well, and it goes with your recon, but I kind of screwed up. I got with all my different setups, I got a little confused, and on the the far bottom left there, that unit that's concealed.
Here,
Yeah, that's where the pillbox was.
right?
Those units should have been hidden
Yeah, they should have been
instead
hidden.
of yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, you
I don't think it
decided you
mat.
didn't.
I don't think it
No,
mattered
you
much
didn't. Right.
because I saw the pillbox pretty early, and I saw these trenches here and here. Were they or here?
Yeah.
Somewhere around here. I saw them pretty quickly too, which is why I wasted. I don't know why I wasted my other 2 recon hexes trying to find them because I was going to see them.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things with fortifications. I don't necessarily agree with the rules. Is you can hip them to start, but then they're automatically revealed when you
Well,
have a line of sight to them. So
especially trenches or foxholes.
yeah, yeah.
Probably if they're like on the edge of the woods here and your guys are hitting in them, kind of hunkered down, you're not going to probably see them. A pillbox, yeah, you might see it, but not like
Well,
a
yeah.
trench or something.
Yeah, normally a pillbox, but what if it's, well camouflaged?
Yeah,
Bunch of shrubs
yeah.
rolled up in front of it or something. But yeah,
Them's the rules, so
yeah.
yeah, that's how we do it. In general, okay, go over your defense in general, I guess. We kind of maybe covered it.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a ton of American units and set up too far forward. I could set up all the way to that upper green line, but I just felt that was a little too far forward. I
Hmm.
didn't want to, I didn't want you to swallow me up. So I kind of
And I
set up farther.
suspected this was a dummy
Yeah.
stack, which it was. Yeah,
Yeah, a couple dummy stacks. But then I did put the half squad with the bazooka on each flank to kind of ward against your drive. And well, yeah, because
here and here,
I
I think.
started with I started with the roadblocks,
Hmm.
which aren't on the map, but they're
This one here was it,
somewhere. Yeah, like right there. There's
and
one right there.
up
Yeah,
here, or was it over
yeah.
here
No, it was on the first spot there.
or here somewhere?
Yeah,
I think your other roadblock was there.
but if you're as a germ player, you could pretty obvious where the roadblocks are going to
Yeah.
be, and you still have access down both sides. So
Hmm.
yeah, I stuck the half squads with the bazookas out there, and then the rest of it, like the pillboxes down the bottom left, the squad in it, and my plan wasn't really to keep you out of the victory locations because I knew I really couldn't do that. It was just to try and utilize the best fields of fire. I set the 9-2 with a heavy and a medium in the center. I kind of the mortars are just right of them. I didn't.
Didn't even use
Uh,
them if I recall.
no, well, you ended up as we'll see, you ended up coming all down the left side. I
Yeah.
set the mortars there to kind of cover that whole right flank, but you never came down that way. So yeah, they sat there too heavy to. Well, I need to leave the squad in the trench just in case, but so I didn't. I never evacuated the trench. Never moved them.
No,
Yeah, there's the other leader with the medium in the village there in a stone building.
down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did set, I think it was a whole platoon, 3 squads and a leader by that Y intersection right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was to maybe slow you down, but I had good route pass and I fall right back to the village. That
Hmm.
was to fall back to the village and utilize the stone buildings in the village to mostly just to protect the pillbox. I figured I'd just keep falling back and try and hold on to the at least one of the fortifications, one of the pillbox or both trenches.
Hmm.
That was the end goal. Just
Yeah.
try and hold on to one of those. That's about it.
For the Germans, so I revealed the bazooka, which I suspected. The anti-tank gun was a bonus because I rolled so well.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll come down on the left side here, like this, and work my way, secure the village and use that as my where to get my victory points, and then work my way over through the wheat, through the grain here. I didn't think coming down through all this semi-open area was probably a good idea. I don't know. In hindsight, maybe it would have worked fine, but as we see, time ran out for me, and I neglected getting over here until it was too late. But my initial push, yeah, these guys, they just kind of kept falling back. They kind of got pummeled and, just fell back steadily. I just couldn't get over to here. As far as your roadblocks go, see, they were about where I thought they'd be in this zone, right?
Hmm.
Somewhere there, or this zone, which is where they were. So I figured, well, I'll just, bypass through this gap, bring my armor down like this, and bring this other Panzer IV down the flank here, figuring there was a bazooka there, but my infantry would flush it out. Then my
Yeah.
tank could continue down, which is what I did. That was my plan. It worked pretty good for about 3 or 4 turns, and then it kind of went to hell.
Well,
Yeah.
I do have reinforcements. I have a platoon, 3 Shermans,
Yep.
2 half tracks, a couple squads, another medium. Come on and turn 3, I guess. Come up
Yeah.
from the bottom of the board.
I think we both have. Yeah, you've got 3 Shermans, and then we both have a half track with some units that come on
Yeah.
later. Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was going to do with those exactly. I was just going to wait and see what developed. I mean, I knew I knew 3 Shermans against a Panther and then 2 Panzer IVs. It's like, well, you're just driving around 3 flaming wrecks, right? So,
But I think
but
you did take my Panther out eventually. I think that's the moment I threw in the towel. It's like
that was a
we shouldn't spoil
abysmal
it because
kill.
I know the anticipation. People are they just can't wait to
Oh,
go through the video and get to the end.
I know, I'm sure.
Is that it? Let's
Yeah,
start stepping through this bad boy.
fire it up.
All right. German one. Let's start going. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm just putting concealment on everything before we start. Sending my infantry in first. Do my armor last. Oh, there's your roadblock. I saw it. That squad saw it as he came on the edge of the board there on the left.
Yeah, I was really hoping you would bring some guys kind of spread out a little more. I was the way you're coming down all down the left side. I didn't think that was gonna. That didn't figure into my plan too well, so I was a little nervous already.
You knew your guys by the roadblock were screwed. Like, retreat. Yeah, I came on and I saw your trench, one of your trenches here. Got line of sight to that. That's why I, you know, regret using my recon to try to find the pillboxes. I should have just clicked here on one of these and said, I'll reveal those. I would have had the trench instantly and all the units that were there and would have known.
Well, and you've already revealed the peel box, so it's like,
Yeah, this guy must see it here. Yeah,
I see. Yeah, I was hoping it would take you a while because I knew once you see them, you're gonna start going. It's
right.
like I was hoping they would stay hidden. At least the pillbox would stay hidden until turn 3 or something. But
Bring my armor in. I think half track there. Unload. Bring the Panzer IV. Ooh, you're checking a really long shot with your anti-tank gun. That's just blocked.
yeah,
Oh, you actually fired it. Yeah,
yeah, it can acquire you, but
couldn't see it. I think there was a brief firefight on the left, or on the right, on the left, sorry, and then you retreated. Yeah, over on the right, you're bailing out of your foxhole because you're like, oh, the action's over on the other side.
yeah, I'm just trying to, yeah, kind of shift to the left a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. You're already pulling back.
No, yeah, I would have just got if I tried to stay there and fight, I would have just got away.
Broke your bazooka guy on the left. Yeah, so I was gonna set up a fire base. My original plan was to set up a kind of a fire base here because I have a heavy and fire on these guys, and I changed that plan. I don't know why, because I end up moving them in here to the village. I should have just left them there to work on these guys, and I should have spent my
Hmm.
again. I should have spent my recon on this, because everything on you have a 9-2 and what half squads? I forget what was in there.
Yeah, 2 halves, a heavy,
With a
a
morale of
medium.
6, I might have had a good chance to break something. Of course, he would have had a good chance to break my guys too. So who knows how that would have worked.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of the action ends up being on the left,
Hmm.
left to center. But
On to turn 2.
yeah, you made good progress. First turn, first couple turns.
Yeah, I just had a swarm of Germans coming in here with a lot of decent leaders too. I think I have 3 or 4 leaders on that side.
Yeah, everything pretty much goes your way for about 3 turns, I think.
Yeah, here I start moving Schmidt out of the woods and over to the left. I regret doing that too. Yeah, a lot of kind of boneheaded decisions on my part.
Ah, bonehead, but
Bringing my half track close.
yeah, I think you're trying to eliminate me.
I was trying to do
Failure route
something.
there.
I'm not sure what I was doing, but I was trying to do something. Here I was trying to line up my Panther to uh, start firing at some of your units. I knew you had a. I wasn't worried about the bazooka over here, but I was worried. I had to keep an eye on this bazooka. Only if you got a
Hmm.
side or rear shot. If you got a front shot, I wasn't really worried about it.
No, there's not much that can kill a panther.
No, pretty much have to hit it on the side or rear, or get a critical hit. Oh, I screwed up that movement. You let me do it again.
Just nice guy.
Yes. Moving my Panzer IV in to do the same. I don't know why I put the covered arc there, though. It's kind of strange. What was I thinking?
Um,
Oh, who
I know
knows?
you were a little nervous of my anti-tank gun. You were trying to stay behind
Yeah,
the little clump of
this
woods there.
Y4 here, trying to hide behind it. Actually, start firing on the guy in your pillbox. At one point, I actually broke him somehow.
Yeah, well, I was lucky as, or did I? I think I rallied him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this game was my best effort because my tanks, at least the Panzer IVs, I think had smoke, and I didn't never even use smoke. Never tried to like smoke these guys out here.
I thought for
If
sure you would. Yeah, I thought for sure that'd be like the first thing you did was put smoke on my 9-2 and that heavy. I was really worried about that.
I think they even have smoke mortars. I should have like just driven by and try to drop smoke, you know, because you didn't have any anti armor, you know, stuff in here,
Hmm.
right? All I had to worry about was this and your bazooka. I should have just driven by, drop smoke from a either mortar or discharger. I forget which it had. Didn't do that either. Getting your Shermans ready to come on. You decide to bring them on right in the village. Is that just
I
to
mean, you
keep
got all
them
these
out of?
Germans. I've got a couple broken guys. Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't want to go anywhere. Yeah, where your Panther could get a shot at him.
Yeah.
You got the Panther and the Panzer IV in the middle. I had good cover on the left, and I needed something to help reinforce that left side. Thought I could figure. I mean, I figured I could, probably slow down your infantry,
Hmm.
kind of guard the pillbox a little bit.
So right now we're on turn 2. You have a bunch of broken guys here,
Yeah,
here. I might have eliminated something here with a, thought there was a bazooka, or he route. Oh, he routed or moved back. Okay.
yeah. There's just too many Germans. And that 6 morale, it's hard to
I
it's
just
hard
have
to
a,
hold ground with that 6 morale.
I just have a wall of fire here.
Yeah, it's just too much. All fives, 5 firepower
Yeah,
squads.
with the
You were
self-fire.
doing, yeah, you were doing like 12, 20,
Yeah,
25, or 20. Just
because they're 5.48, so they're just as effective in advancing fire as they are in prep fire, pretty much.
in fact, I think when you broke that one squad, you had like a 36 plus fire attack number or something.
Probably. That doesn't last long. I start realizing, oh, I got to get over to the right into those trenches, and things start going downhill. And my Panther here, I start getting more worried about your guy with the bazooka, and I suspected these were dummies, but I was worried about your bazooka, so I turned to face him and never really started engaging those guys. I don't have my drawing. I forgot to open my drawing sketching thing this time.
A little, I don't know what the right word, maybe a little befuddled as to what to do with your armor. You kind of were real hesitant about what you're going to do with it.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, I wasn't quite sure. But I mean, I'm bringing this Panzer forward, and I think, oh yeah, you got a lucky. Oh, that's right. Okay, I started moving that Panzer IV down, thinking, oh, even if you hit me, there was a bunch of modifiers. Even if you hit me, chances of a kill is pretty slim. You rolled a 3 and then a 4. 3 to hit, 4 to kill. So I wasn't expecting to lose that, just moving him down closer.
Mhm. Well, took the second shot and hit you.
Here I'm moving I think I decided to move my Panther into the village to help engage the Shermans instead of keeping them
Mhm.
out there. So that was another mistake. I completely disengaged everything over here and
Mhm.
moved everything into the village. And then I couldn't really recover from it to get back over to get those trenches. And
Yeah, I think you're way at this point. You're just way too heavy on the left side
oh, for sure. Yeah.
because we're halfway,
Yeah.
just about halfway through the game.
This is when I started thinking, this is not gonna go well. At about this point, I think. Even though I'm swarming the village, that's not really what I need to be doing. I need to be focusing over here more at this point and get those two trenches.
Yeah.
I figured I'd get the pillbox. I don't know if I've broken that guy now. Oh, you first fired, so you stripped your own concealment, which helped me. Still
Yeah, it's
moving.
pretty hot and heavy at this point.
Yeah, in the village there.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I'm weaseling my Panzer IV into a better position where I could kind of cover. I think from there I could cover this road hex. And my reinforcements are coming on half track with what squad and a half or something coming
Mhm.
through the space through the woods there. And my plan was to bring them down down like this, around, and jump out. It was kind of one of my only hopes to get something in close. I think they're buttoned
Yeah.
up. Yeah, no, they're actually crew exposed right now. Then I bring the other half track up out of the village for support.
Yeah, this is where your morale checks it starts to go south.
Yeah.
Roll a 9.
I could take out one
But
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
took a Panther. I think that was advancing fire. Was it advancing
Yeah.
fire?
What I?
Yeah, he rolled a 4 to hit.
Oh yeah, 4. Yeah, to kill. Set it on fire. There, I broke your guy in the pillbox. So if I can keep him broken or get him out of there, I've got the pillbox.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, okay, I'm not too worried about victory points. I need to. Oh, here's another thing about the victory points that I just remembered. For every tank I lost, I needed
Oh yeah.
1 or 2 more victory points, which is really bad because it's like you're double dipping because the tanks counted as 1 victory point. But if I lost one, that means I needed to get 6 in. If I lost
Well,
2, I
there's
need
2
to get
more.
7. It was a 2?
Yeah, it was 2
Yeah,
because you needed 5, but you lost the Panzer IV, so now you needed 7.
right.
That's why you were a little cautious with your armor. That's right.
Yeah, you need to
I
be
think
cautious
you
with their
were thinking
armor.
about that the whole time.
Yeah, because if you lose them, it's a double penalty. You lose the
Mm-hmm.
victory points for just kind of driving in there. Then you have to get 2 extra on top of it if you lose one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I lost Panzer 4.
But I mean, at this point, you got plenty of victory points at
Right.
this point. That's not really a problem.
No, it's me worrying about how many victory points am I going to have to sacrifice to move right to the trenches. I don't know what that was all about.
So I think the rec counter got deleted somehow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, this is where your morale checks start to go south. You end up with a bunch of broken guys.
I think you finally start firing these guys. Yeah, you've got
Yeah.
2 half squads manning, a heavy and a medium, and 9-2. Brutal. Not just a heavy, but a 50 cal heavy. You and your anti-tank gun antics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Manhandled it all the way across the board.
yeah, right behind my Panther. Yeah, at this point you're like, oh, my anti-tank gun is not doing anything. You decide to start pushing it down the road, and you
Jumped in my
take your
little
Jeep
Jeep,
out for a little tour.
the stroll.
Now, I guess you could have started the anti-tank gun towed with the Jeep. I don't know,
Yeah.
way over here on the somewhere. I don't know, and you could have positioned it. That would have been one option, depending on how I came on, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't really have any planned Jeep, so
You're just not driving around in the middle of the battle.
yeah, I brought my reinforcements up, 1/2 track leader to reinforce that or the trench area. The other one, I had a squad with a bazooka go up there and try and take out your tracks.
That was pretty bold, bringing the squad, or what was it, squad or half squad with the bazooka right up into the front there. I knew what you were
Well,
planning to do with it.
you didn't have anything that could really shoot at me, so I thought I'm just gonna go all the way up there, dump them in the woods with that bazooka, and take out your half tracks.
Yeah. Took out another one of your Shermans. But
That was the Panzerschreck.
was that the Panzerschreck or was it
Yeah.
this guy firing down
Oh,
through
yeah.
there? Might have been that guy. Panzerschreck might have been this guy later. But
Yeah.
my assault on the village just kind of stopped.
Yeah, it's kind of sputters a little bit.
Yeah, I was like just like storming in, and then it just kind of went. Bleh. Oh, here I am. I'm like, okay, armor is probably not too much to worry about because I have a Panzerschreck. Or is it right here
Yeah, right there.
with Wagner, who's gonna keep an eye on this guy? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring my Panther out now, and I need to come in. I need to come in here and start securing some things or locking some things down.
Yeah, I think this was our second playing, and it's like you knew you had to get back to take those trenches.
Oh, I drove him right up, yeah, adjacent to your bazooka squad. I think I bounding fired machine guns and broke your guy. Got lucky there. Not that it really mattered, but
Rolled a 3. I
yeah,
think
I
you
got
rolled a
lucky.
3. Yeah.
Well, there's Wagner down at the lower left, moving in with the
Yeah.
bazooka.
Well, and I knew my last Sherman was pretty much toast at this point. So
Or maybe I got in close combat. Didn't I jump into close combat with it too? Oh, here I'm bringing my half tracks down. See if I can get anything going.
yeah, because I think we tell this is like you knew you really had to scramble, do something, try and get to the trenches.
Hmm.
Kind of like an all-out push, the start of an all-out push.
Yeah, I figured if all these units here could, I could not crack. This guy was in a stone building. I could not crack these guys. I wanted to crack these guys and then start moving them this way. But I only have, after this turn, I only have 2 turns left.
Yeah, well, then it didn't help that at some point I generated it down there, and
Yeah.
I ended up giving him the bazooka.
Uh-huh. And you ran up, yeah, you ran up, I think you ran up this way somehow. Took a shot. Is that what happened? Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you ended up with several broken guys, and was able to keep DM on them. You had a hard time rallying.
Yeah, I had a major, I couldn't rally, I think I couldn't rally Yulin, 9-1 leader, and then back here I couldn't rally. That guy got wounded. But yeah, I couldn't rally this guy either.
Well, that was that sniper. The sniper ended up. You had that
Hmm.
whole stack there. You were gonna rally every the sniper attack and screwed.
Oh yeah, I jump into close combat here. Whole pile of stuff. YOLO. Oh, maybe it was a zero range Panzerschreck shot. You tried to drive away. I think that's what it was. I don't think close combat took him out. No, because I rolled awesome. I rolled a 10, 8, 10, 8. Yeah. So I brought my half tracks down here by the trenches, hoping to just sit there and fire and break stuff. Didn't really work out though.
This kind of reminds me of the video that Stu posted on the Discord SK forum
Which
about
video?
it's about the 20,000 U.S. World War II soldiers taking on 2 million zombies. You should watch it. It's pretty.
I think I played like a zombie.
You're getting real close to capturing the pillbox.
Yeah, I fired my Panzerschreck at 0 range when you tried to fire up your Sherman and drive away. It was
Well, yeah,
toast.
I wasn't surprised or actually even disappointed because I knew that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
They'd all three of them would end up. I'm still trying to manhandle my anti-tank or to somehow get a shot.
So now you're moving your units that were on the right. You're like moving them towards those trenches to even bolster them more. And I'm just like, there's no way I can do this.
Well, yeah, because I was basically free to move over there. It
Right.
really had not much of anything to shoot at me.
No.
But at the same time, I'm trying to circle around, get behind your Panther with my other little bazooka. And then the hero's got a bazooka. He moved up.
Hmm.
I think he's about ready to take a shot,
Yeah.
Panther.
Roll a 12 on infantry fire table. That helps. You rolled a 12 on to hit.
That was the bazooka.
That was one bazooka. And then here's the
One bazooka
hero.
broke.
Roll a
Four.
4. It was advancing fire. I think you hit.
Yeah.
Side shot,
Hit.
you roll a 4 on
Boom.
my Panther. Was that the Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when
Toast.
it ended early.
Flame.
Yeah, that was it. Because I had 2 more turns.
Your
I now,
morale was shattered.
yeah, I had a bunch of broken guys here. These guys, I think they find, no, he hasn't even rallied yet. These guys are still broken. 2 turns, even if I could rally everything, bomb rush everything in 2 turns into the teeth of all of this and somehow break you guys. I just didn't, and I would
Yeah.
need 9 victory points now. So I'd have to leave enough back here to still have 9 and try to dislodge you from these trenches. I didn't think there was any way possible to do it. So I threw in the
No.
towel after losing my Panther. My poor
I mean,
Panther.
yeah. I mean, I think anything is possible, right? But small chance maybe you could have done it, but it
No.
definitely
I mean,
didn't look
sure, but
good.
you have to count your losses
Yeah.
sometimes, let it
It would have
go,
been
cut it
tough to
loose.
leave. Yeah. It would have been tough to leave nine
Right.
victory points.
I mean, this tank would have been. I mean, there were one.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't normal
Five.
victory points, right? It was just 1
Yeah.
point per vehicle,
Right.
per tank, per squad.
Yeah. It was listed in the SSR. It wasn't normal.
Right.
Like a tank. Normally, it's like 5
No, it
victory
was just
points. It's
1.
1. Yeah. So I would have had to leave 9. I only had 1 tank left. 9 squads or 8 squads and my Panzer IV in this zone. I don't even know if I had enough. You know, so I would have had to get over here and get back if I took any beyond 8. There's no way. Just running
Yeah.
without just moving, not firing at all, just running over and run back. You couldn't even do it. So uh, threw in the towel. It was an interesting scenario, though.
It was. I mean, I'm normally not a fan of scenarios with a lot of SSRs, and but yeah, this was actually pretty interesting. It was different. The everything that, like I said, it was at first it was like kind of convoluted. It's like what? But yeah, once you figured it out, it was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, most of the SSRs were related to the bidding to pick sides and recon. The rest were
Hmm.
only a few. The rest of them were pretty normal. So yeah, it wasn't too bad in that regard. It's just my approach to it was just flawed. I think from the get go.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, shoving everything down that one side. Yeah, I think you kind of forgot that you had to limit units in the
Yeah.
trenches and
Yep.
pillboxes.
Yep. Another lesson to me and to all listeners and players is always understand your victory conditions because I understood them too late. I mean, I'm pretty sure I understood it when we decided to play the scenario, and
Yeah.
I like just brain farted him. And then prior to our session two, to finish it out, I looked at the
Mhm.
victory conditions. I'm like, oh crap.
Crap.
Then it dawned on me again, and yeah, I now if I would have played it correctly and fully comprehended the victory conditions, would I have been able to win? I don't know, but I certainly would have had a better chance.
Yeah, it would have been definitely would have been closer.
Yeah, and I didn't not utilizing my smoke properly, which is weird because not too long ago we played a scenario that kind of hinged
Mm.
on proper use of smoke, and this one I just completely forgot to use it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was totally convinced that you were gonna, because I second guessed myself about setting that night two up with both machine guns, and I thought he's just gonna smoke them first turn, useless, and
I mean, it's very possible I would just roll a 9 or something anyway, and not
no,
and ran out of
you
smoke.
always get smoke, always get smoke. But we
Yeah.
talked about it at length. It's like I don't know if as far as spreading the fortifications, the three fortifications out,
Yeah.
and whether that was I don't know, a design flaw or if that's what they were actually meant for meant to happen or what, but
Well, in my
definitely definitely makes it tougher on the Germans.
yeah,
We're all spread out.
yeah. Well, in my feedback, at least the one I typed up, the form I filled out, I mentioned, maybe the victory conditions you changed to where the I mean, they just got rid of the pillbox altogether, but I explained to them the ability for the defender to kind of cheese the victory conditions by completely spreading out the fortifications so the Germans have to, like we talked about, they would have to like run all over the map to try to do it. And I asked or said, if what if you set up the trenches? They have to all be adjacent to another, you know, wherever that
Hmm.
may be. They all have to be adjacent to each other. So I don't know if they did that because I haven't seen any. All I know is he said they deleted the pillbox. I don't know if they changed anything else about setting them up.
Well, like in this case here in our scenario, if I had set up one of the trenches on the far right over there, and you know we would have got you probably would have quit like turn earlier because the only
Uh,
thing that could have got over there would have you had the half tracks. You would have tried to maybe run the half tracks and the armor over there
thing
if
is
you knew it was there.
I
But
might not have had line of sight if you put it like here.
yeah,
I might
yeah,
not have had line of sight to it until I was below this line because these woods would block it from most line of sight until I got fairly low on board 70.
yeah,
Yeah, and I would have been like looking all like, where the hell is it?
yeah.
And
Where is it?
then finally it would have been over here, and I quit. I can't even get over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if they changed that, but it could potentially ruin what might be an interesting scenario if as players we play games and we're always looking for ways to leverage an advantage
The
for
rules.
yourself based on victory conditions or rules or whatever, right? And that would be one way to set this up. Just make it almost impossible for the Germans to try to spread so far out that they can't reach and clear out all the fortifications.
Well, I think if you would have came split your force in two and came down both sides, uh,
Yeah,
that would have
it might be
took
possible then.
uh,
Yeah, that's one side. If one side starts having problems, and then they have to rely on the other one to run over to support them, yeah, who knows? But yeah, if you throw everything on one side, you leave yourself open to not being able to get the fortifications. The further away they are from the one zone you may be focusing on, the less likely you are to win as the Germans, probably. You want to look at the dice? Let's
Yes,
check
the
the
dice.
dice, the tail of the dice, real quick. You're green, I'm blue. Overall, yeah, you were pretty hot overall. 6.7 versus 7.1. You had 100 total die rolls. I had 140. Look at this here.
Yeah, look, I had quite a few above average snake eyes,
Wow.
above average fours, fives.
I had two snake eyes. One was infantry fire table. One was a morale check. You had five. Two infantry fire table, one rally, and one other. Not sure what that was. And I had five boxcars, one infantry fire table, three morale checks. Yeah, I think I remember those. I think I remember those. And one other. You had two boxcars, a rally, and a two hit. That was the bazooka, I think, which really wasn't that big of a deal. So yeah, you had the overall you had the hotter dice. That's probably not why you won though. But
Yeah, no, it doesn't look. I mean, you look at the scale there; it's just slightly above average, or below average, I guess.
yeah, you didn't take many morale checks. In fact, it's not even showing up for you. I don't know why.
Oh, well, I took some morale checks. It's just
Maybe it's because the moving average. Oh, there they are. If I do no moving average, that's all the actual rolls.
hmm yeah. It's I don't know. It was a typical game. You had some shit morale checks.
Ooh, your average was 6.5 morale checks. Wow.
Well, I had a morale of 6 though.
Yeah, so you were a little better on dice, but
A
I
little better.
the game wasn't dicey in that it does. I don't think it decided the game. I just think some of my choices came and bit me at the end when I needed to rally and try to take your trenches. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean the dice. It didn't. It never felt dicey. It
No,
felt like we were both like up and down quite a bit on the dice.
yeah.
Seemed like.
Although I do remember those. I'm pretty sure those three morale check 12s were in the same damn turn.
Yeah, it
I
could have been.
think. Yeah, it's turn four. Here they are. Morale check, morale check, morale check. It's during turn four. Yeah, I remember that. Oh,
Brutal.
yep. That's it
It was
for
a fun scenario. I
best
thought it was
defense.
interesting. It was different.
Yep. So my recommendation to anyone playing the Germans is don't put all your eggs in one basket unless you recon and discover something that causes you to do that, which I wasn't able to do. And two, and I thought I tried to do this, but yeah, you got some lucky rolls. You got the anti-tank gun and then the bazooka taking out my two tanks, but you got to protect your tanks because you're going to lose 3 victory points just from losing 3 of them, and that means, well, you're going to lose one for each one you lose, and then you have to make up 2 more in the victory condition zone to make up for that lost one. So it's a double hit for every tank you
Yeah.
lose. So protect your tanks if you play as the Germans. Any advice for American players?
Well, yeah. It's hard to say what the final version of the scenario is going to be,
Yeah, just based on
but
what
way,
we played. Yeah,
yeah, spread out your fortifications.
spread them
Yeah,
out.
as far as you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when we first looked at it, I was like, God, I don't see. I mean, at first it looked even, but then the more I analyzed it, I'm like, I don't know how. There's no way I can stop all these Germans, you know, by
No.
parades and Panther, and it's like God. But I don't know the way it played out. I mean, it felt fairly balanced, really, even though your strategy didn't really help you.
No.
But I think if you were to, I mean, I know that if you replayed it, it would be way different. So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but
No doubt. Yeah. I would approach it
like I said,
completely
it's just a
different.
little, kind of a little brain fart on your part, is
Yeah.
all. But yeah, it was fun.
Um, I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Speaking of brain farts. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Let's wrap this one up. We're at an hour.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up. I think our next AAR. Well, we played a face to face. I don't know, a month and a half ago, whenever that was. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
2 months ago. Yeah, and I recorded it. I did a kind of crappy job, but I actually recorded us playing, pushing counters wrong, and I lost the video. And that was what did we play? Stray or Strays?
Strays.
Yeah. You ended up
Oh well, we
winning.
played. Then we played the. We had time. We played the SK one too.
Yeah, we played Purple Heart
Purple Heart Lane.
Lane. Yeah, Purple Heart Lane. Um, and we started that face to face, then we finished it on Vassal. We just took pictures of where all the stuff was.
Yeah.
But we won't have AARs for either of those two. You won both of them, if I recall. But we did finish up Poopville exit. That'll probably be our next AAR. Poopville. You're on kind of a roll lately.
It won't last long.
Never know. You may never lose again.
Come on. Be serious.
You you shitting me right now?
I could make a derogatory comment, but I won't.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. Don't want to say the curse word. So we'll do Poopville whenever next time.
Poupe.
Poopville.
Poupeville. Sounds good.
Okay. Fun scenario, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye.